My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. Thanks for stopping by the channel. I do appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind liking and subscribing if you haven't already, that does help the channel grow. And for that, I appreciate you. Terareum is the topic of the day. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, he's going to cover this Twitter drama going on and we're going to get into it. But we're not going to really do that. I'm going to cover it a little bit after I give you some of the news. And there really isn't much going on the Terareum project side. They're still working hard, getting the exchange ready. And it looks like, I believe Artie Price tweeted out something about maybe the NFT platform or exchange coming online sometime soon. There really is no date. There really is no concrete information on that. And it looks like maybe it's going to drop before November, right? Which is when the exchange is going to drop. So we're all still looking forward to that. But we all have to keep in mind and be realistic what's going on. If they drop an NFT exchange, right, where you can go on and maybe you're going to interact with NFTs that are listed on there in Ethereum or Crow or BNB or whatever it is, whatever blockchain these NFTs are on, does it require you to hold the Terareum token in order to do that? And I think the answer is no. I mean, I'm not 100%, but it doesn't seem to me like you would need to have Terareum in order to use the platform. So I don't really see that impacting price much unless they get a lot of hype and a lot of energy out there around this thing that causes people to purchase in sufficient volume, right? You know what I'm going to say. And I'm going to say this every time on every video. That is the only way price goes up. People have to purchase in sufficient volume. That creates price movement. There is no other way for the price to go up. So you have to think to yourself and be realistic. Is this going to help the price go up? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it would. It's a great utility for Terareum. And I don't know if they're going to take fees for listing NFTs on the platform or how that's going to work. So that is good utility for Terareum, the company. But I don't know that that's really going to do anything for the token value. So not FUD. Okay, this is realistic. I'm being realistic, giving it to you straight. And speaking of straight, I'm going to start doing live streams, and straight talk is going to be the theme where I'm just going to give it to you real because that's what you need. There's too many people out there that are too emotional about their crypto investments, and you guys need to realize that that doesn't help. You being emotional about it doesn't help the project grow. And normally it turns into negativity if somebody says something you don't like and we're pitting two projects against each other. And it's not necessary and it doesn't help anything. And it only makes everybody look bad, right? There are no winners in that. So going through that, and we're going to have the exchange come online sometime in November, right? The 1st of November, give or take a few weeks. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm happy to sit around and wait and watch, see what happens. And then, maybe we're going to see when marketing kicks in and they're going to hold an AMA, I believe, in the next week or so. I think it should have been sooner and they should have been ahead of this. But the Terareum team, maybe not the best at communicating what their plans are and what's really going on, often enough. So I think that's something that can be worked on. But they're going to hold an AMA, right? They're going to do what they need to do and let everybody know whatever it is they want us to know. And it may not be everything that we want to know, but that's, again, up to them. It's their project. They're in charge. They're going to do what they need to do or what they think they need to do. And we're just going to have to sit back and listen and hopefully get our questions answered. So that's really the little bit of information that's really going on regarding the project itself. Now, there has been some drama on Twitter, and it's stupid. To me, it's just stupid. It's just people are being emotional and overreacting, and I'm not going to mention any names. And I started in the beginning, and I made a couple of posts to a certain person, but we got past that. I apologized. I may have said something out of turn, and that's fine. And we're beyond that, and that's the way it should be. But having the devs get in, and get involved in that kind of stuff, nobody wins there. There is literally zero winning going on when that happens. So hopefully they can get past all of this, but why does it happen? And I understand that there are emotions in the space, right? There are people get emotional and then they're maximalists about their project and they're going to defend it no matter what. And then another project says something, and then now we got two communities back and forth at each other, and it's just stupidity. It really is. But I do understand why it happens, and I'm going to explain. Okay, people are emotional, and you shouldn't be emotional about your crypto investments. Okay, take me for example. This is my excited face. This is also my mad face, right? I don't bring emotions to the table in this. Yeah, I can get excited and give you information, and inside I'm excited, but I may not show it on the outside. But I also don't get into fights in Twitter intentionally, right? Maybe you misspeak or misunderstand somebody's tweet or Telegram message, whatever, and you can probably move on from that because you're an adult, right? And you're mature. But in this space, we don't need maximalists. It only hurts crypto. You can have a favorite project, right? My favorite is XRP and the XRP ledger, right? And the projects that go on that is my favorite. It's not as fun to cover, and I don't really get a lot of people who watch that, so I don't really cover it. That's why I cover things like Terareum. I also enjoy Terareum. I like the project. I like the team. I like what's going on and the community, and everything is good there. So it's fun to cover, and that's what I need. But we don't need to just pick one project, right? We can be invested in more than one project. It's okay. Nobody's going to care, right? And nobody cares if you think that a project is better or worse or has too high of fees. Like this is obviously was a problem for some people where, they had an issue with, let's say 28% buy and sell tax, for the first month of this new project, but yet they were okay with the 34% buy and sell tax Terareum had when it first came out. See, so, we get to pick and choose, what offends us depending on what our personal opinion is and what our personal preference is as far as tokens go. So it doesn't make much sense when I put it that way, does it? So hopefully we can end this, this back and forth thing, and we can just move on. Terareum's a great project. I'm behind it. The other project, MetaMonkey AI, I'll guess I'll go ahead and mention it because everybody already knows. It's also a great project, and I'm going to support that project too. I'm in both. So, and I'm going to stay in both, and I'm not going to pick sides. That is where we're at. Hopefully you guys understand you have to take your emotions out of this investing. When I drop money into a project, I'm mentally checking that money out. That money to me isn't coming back. I'm not getting it back, right? It's gone, right? I invested money I could afford to lose. If I don't ever see it again, c'est la vie. I move on to the next one. That's what you have to do. That's the mentality you have to have. And when it gets into this, and let's take a look at the Terra chart, right? I mean, it's ugly. This is not pretty. Nobody wants to see this. This is not, this doesn't look like my favorite project, but here's the chart, right? You got to look at the chart and understand what's going on here. People are frustrated because here's your price for the last 4 months, ish, and it's not going anywhere, right? And we came out with TerraPool, and the price didn't go anywhere. Why? Because everybody had some unreasonable expectations that just because they dropped some utility for the company, that the price was going to go up. But that's not how it works, right? I'm not going to repeat why the price goes up, but you guys know, you repeat it in your head, okay? You know what I'm saying. This is going to take a reason for people to purchase the token and use the token. And unfortunately, that reason is a little further down the road. And I know they're going to come up with TerraChain at some point in the future. And that, to me, is going to be the ultimate utility for Terareum. Them coming out with an exchange, if I don't have to have Terareum token in order to use the exchange, then that doesn't really increase the value of the token. It only increases the value of the project for Terareum, as a business, as a company. And I'm not part of that company. I only own the token. So that's kind of where we're at. If you got questions for me, leave them down in the comments below and I'll answer them. I always answer every answerable, that's a word, answerable question. And then going forward, I'm going to have some live streams, and hopefully you guys can come on the live stream and we can chat and talk about Terareum and say, how cool things are and where we think it's headed, and maybe give some suggestions that, we can write to the dev team, and maybe they'll listen, maybe they won't, that's up to them. They run the project, not me. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and you got a little something out of it, because that's really what I'm here for. If I could change one person's opinion about being non-emotional in crypto, I've done my job. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.